Okay, Deadpool. Probably the highlight of my night. Disclaimer. Parents, this is a rated R movie. Quit taking your goddamn 5-year-olds to this movie and being shitty parents. Just stop it. Because ever since I went and saw this movie, I have seen post upon post upon post upon post of parents complaining about this movie being crass and vulgar and violent and being, oh my goodness, I took my child to see this movie because they were a fan of the comics, and this had so much language and nudity and violence and blood in this film. Oh my goodness, you saw Ryan Reynolds' wiener. Oh, my child is going to be scarred. Shut up, it was your own fault. Why are you letting your kids read those comics anyways? It's a rated R movie. Stupid. I just had to get that out. I'm sorry. It was great. I loved it. You can tell Ryan Reynolds really cares about this character. This movie spent, I think, 10 years in pre-production hell before it finally got the go-ahead from the studio, who, might I add, wanted it to be PG-13, wanted Deadpool to be straight when he is bi. I refuse to say pansexual because that is just a fancy way of saying bi. Come at me, Tumblr. And Ryan Reynolds took a pay cut to pay for this movie. He's a producer. He paid to get this made. Story. It's it's really funny. The amount of times that me and the rest of the theater that I went with, the oddly not really packed theater, might I add, was laughing the whole way through from beginning to end. And there's a reason for that. In the very beginning, fourth wall joke, instead of the actors' names, there were like God's perfect idiot and a British villain and a CGI character and a moody teen and a gratuitous cameo, Stan Lee. And directed by an overpaid tool, which was the top, the cherry on the sundae of ridiculousness that is this lovable movie. That you should not take your kids to. Because, you know, Ryan Reynolds' wiener. Which, it was a silhouette, let's be honest. You did not see his wiener. Why did I say wiener? I am very tired. Wiener. I love this movie because it does deal with the fact that Deadpool's character is not all comedy. It's a lot of comedy, but it comes from a very dark place, which was he is a very messed up character, mentally and physically, with all the scars and stuff. He was abused. He was raped. If you ever read the comics, he's a rape victim. He hates himself, loathes himself, and it only got worse after the Weapon X program happened, and the face and the avocado hate fucked the older avocado, and I love that they did not shy away from the fact that it's not all comedy. There were some dramatic moments in this film, and for good reason, because that is what Deadpool is. It's his character in media has gotten to the point where it's like, this is a funny character who happens to kill people for money and breaks the fourth wall. It is not. His actual character is very dark, but very loving. He's crazy, but he's the good kind of crazy. There is a point in one of the comics, I believe, it's X-Force, where he feeds Archangel, because I think Archangel has to feed off of raw meat. he feeds Archangel his own flesh because he doesn't want Archangel to die. You know, little birdie grows big and strong. What are you feeding me? Because he's closed his eyes, and Wade says, "If I tell you, do you promise to keep eating? Because you're my friend. I don't want you to die." You see him cutting parts of his arm off, and little birdie. And that's the cool stuff, because there's moments like that all over the comics. Him talking about his dad in a good light. I hear all these posts about. I'm gonna be honest. I have not read all of the Deadpool comics, but I've read a good amount of them. There have been talks about him having an abusive dad, which I will say this: his dad did leave him, but he had a pretty good relationship with his dad, I believe, and people are mistaking that for abusive father. I might be wrong, but I'm just gonna keep educating myself on the character because I really do love this character. And there was a point in the comics where he's talking about his dad, how his dad would knock at the door, and little baby Wade would go, "Who's there?" And they would do out a knock knock joke, and his dad would come in, and, swing him around and hug him, give him a bear hug, and then I think 20 years later, he goes and finds his dad again after he's all messed up in the face, and knock knock, who's there? Guess what? And the dad opens the door. Guess what? Who? And Wade takes off his mask. Guess what happened to me, Dad? Oh, blah, tears. And that's what I love about Deadpool. It's not all comedy. The parts that were comedy in this movie, golden. The athletic sex montage, which was actually kind of tame than what I was expecting. I was expecting something a little raunchier, if I'm being completely honest. They did water this down a little bit. Not much at all, but a little bit. In the next one, I'm expecting him to be a talking head at one point. The fourth wall jokes are hilarious. The non-fourth wall jokes are hilarious. If you are not a fan of Deadpool, just know what you're getting yourself into. This has nudity in it. This has coarse language in it. This has violence in it. This has blood in it. This is basically the comedy version of not Watchmen. I wouldn't say Watchmen. It's not as dramatic as a Watchmen. Comedy version of Blade. Yeah. Another thing, this was not the first rated R movie. Stop saying it is. It's not. If you want to get technical, the first comic book affiliated / comic book-esque rated R film was Darkman. And, which if you haven't seen, watch it. It's kind of cheesy, but it's fun. The costume was amazing. The pacing... Okay, let me talk about the pacing in this film. It was paced very much like one of the graphic novels, which I have several of right over there on my bookshelf, in which it was short. It was about an hour and 45 minutes. It was to the point where it was long enough to be a movie, but not too long. It wasn't as long. It wasn't unnecessarily long, like some of the comic book movies are being these days. Age of Ultron. And I believe that leaves open the possibility for a lot more story. A Deadpool core movie, an X-Force movie, which I hear is Ryan Reynolds' next project which he wants to make. There can be a Deadpool Kills movie. There could be. I kind of want a Negasonic Teenage Warhead movie because she was an awesome character. And if you are a fan of this character, if you are a fan of the X-Men, go see this movie. If you are a fan of comedy, go see this movie. Just know what you're getting yourself into. Back scratches. So, yeah. This was my last video of the night. I'm sorry. Recommended? Yeah, go see it. Yeah, last video of the night. I am going to put these all on my computer. I did say in my Kung Fu Panda review that 2 videos ago, I was going to process these and put them up before I went to bed, but I might not do that. I might wait and sleep a little bit and then wake up tomorrow morning and then do it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Good night, guys. I am very tired. This was my last review of the night. I do have 2 more videos planned, which I believe I do have enough pops that I can comfortably do a pop collection video, as well as I'm going to do a video about the fair use controversy that is going around, which is why I have not been posting videos of late. Expect those in the next week. I am going to try and go see The Witch and review that. I am going to try and go see Hail Caesar and review that. Try to. I'm not promising anything. Maybe The Witch. I really want to go see The Witch. And, what's next? What comes out? Batman v Superman comes out. Oh, yeah! I forgot. It is still February. So, expect 2 reviews for 2 animes, romantic comedy animes called. One is called Toradora. The other one is called Nisekoi False Love. Expect 2 romance movie reviews. Both are foreign. Both are kind of adult, so, love. One is called The Room in Rome. Actually, no, sorry. 3 foreign movies. One is called Room in Rome. The other one is called Young and Beautiful. And the third is called Blue is the Warmest Color. So, yeah, I'm going to do those, and I'm trying to get them out by next Sunday. My October reviews did not go so well because I couldn't make my deadlines, but I'm going to try and make my deadlines for this month. Good night, guys.